Hello everybody, hope you're all good. My name is Button-Me-Up. This is probably my first guide to Heroes of the Storm, and what it's going to be focusing on is how to climb the MMR hell, the ladder itself. So there's a couple of tips on basically getting yourselves up the ranks. Obviously skill dependent. This isn't going to help someone who hasn't got any clue how to play the game, but it will help people that feel they're struggling with some minor points and hopefully get them up the ranks. So I see a lot of people, first of all, this has come up on Reddit a lot, this has come up on various, Heroes of the Storm communities. They straight away worry about losing the draft, and basically what they mean by I lost the draft is two of my teammates didn't pick the heroes I wanted them to pick. So yeah, it's not a good mindset to be in. So first tip to climbing is going to be basically stay positive. Now everybody says just stay positive and you'll win. It's about attitude. That's not what I mean by stay positive. I don't mean if some guy is running into towers to go, yeah, you know what guys, we can still win this, yeah? Maybe you can win this, but what I mean by stay positive is if your team has a massive meltdown, don't start flaming each other, yeah? If you make a mistake, hold your hands up, say, sorry guys, made a mistake, we can still recover. Or instead of going, oh my god, that team fight was shit, what the fuck do you think you're doing, blah 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 blah, say something like, oh, maybe next time we can do this, yeah? Don't preemptively GG, even if you're winning. I've seen that tilt so many people. They're so far ahead, so they're just like GG, and then the game starts turning and then people implode and have a meltdown and definitely lose. Heroes of the Storm is a very, very swingy game. You need to get used to that. Another thing to bear in mind about being positive is even the best players in the world are still going to have 40 to 50% of their games as losses. If you lose, make sure you learn something from it, move on, re-queue again. If the game makes you that angry that you can't physically play this without, imploding on yourself, getting angry, frustrated, this might not be the game for you. There's something to think about. Or maybe you just need a 5-minute break every hour from the game or something. Go refresh, go outside, get some fresh air. A great man once said something about the dick sucking theory. That was a guy named Sky Williams, fantastic League of Legends YouTuber and just general great guy. Basically, if someone does well, they want their dick sucked. FYI. So if someone does a good job at something, make sure you say in chat about what a good job it was. If that team fight went really well, point out someone's awesome ultimate, point out someone's awesome positioning, to let them know they've done a good job, and it'll inspire positivity, which gets me back to the main point, and hopefully lead them to some victory. If someone messes up again, next time let's try something different, okay? And let's go with that. That's about staying positive. Again, it's going to be hard not to not to flame sometimes, I get that, but I've never seen a game won where the whole team implodes on each other and everyone tries to troll and blah 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 blah. The next thing I'm going to move on to, and again this might be obvious, but I don't see a lot of people doing it, which is basically pick a hero, learn it to death, and try to play it each and every game. Now I know that's not going to be possible, but my suggestions are you pick something that's in meta, something that works, fairly well with most compositions, and something that isn't going to be instantly picked or banned. There's no point right now in going, I'm going to learn Ragnaros. Ragnaros is going to be my main hero. I'm going to play Ragnaros as much as possible, because 90% of the games I'm in, Rag is either picked or banned first. And unless you're first pick, and unless he doesn't get banned, you're not going to get a chance to play him. What I suggest is a tank or a support, something along the lines of, well, for me it's Zarya. Fantastic, fits well in most comps, in meta, good build to learn. I've never seen her banned, and 98% of the Hero League games I've played in the past 2 weeks, I get to pick her without fail every game. Something like Diablo, Marudin, Malfurion, you know, you might get away with like a Sylvanas or something like that if that's down your line. Obviously, don't pick them if it doesn't work in your team comp. Pick something that you're fairly good at. So I would try and pick one hero that you can constantly play, but if not, maybe have 2 or 3 that you want to learn. Read the strategy guides, read the build, and play well with them. Just learn them inside and out, and that will get you, you know, that will make you climb. Obviously, you're going to be a bit of a one-trick pony when you get up there if you're forced to play, you know, something you don't usually play. So you normally play Zarya like I do, and then all of a sudden the best pick for your team is, you know, Rhaegar. You've never played Rhaegar before. Oh shit. But by then, you should be high enough to learn sort of game mechanics as you're playing this one hero. Because what it does is it takes your focus away from, you know, trying to play your hero, because you know it inside and out. It becomes muscle memory. You know exactly how far that Q goes. You know exactly how long that E stuns for. You know how deep you can go with the hero without getting killed. You know where your safety net is. And then all of a sudden, instead of like focusing on that sort of thing, you're now focusing on positioning. You're now focusing on, wow, the enemy team used their cooldowns there. That means that I can do this. You know, you start learning the mechanics of the game rather than focusing on the hero, and then you start getting better, and eventually you will notice your play with most heroes will get better. Obviously it requires a little bit of learning, but once you learn the core game mechanics, you can be fairly competent with most heroes. Lastly, with your hero, make sure you pick something that's fun. Yes, I get it, there's a tier list. Yes, you want to pick the OP flavour of the month to learn, but it's not just about that. You need to enjoy the character that you're playing as well. Some people like playing a frontline big monster like Diablo. Some people find the idea of being a tank the most boring thing on earth, and they'd rather heal. Pick something that's fun, pick something that's in meta, pick something that you're going to get to play. Yeah, there's no point picking Ragnaros. That's just the way it goes. You might get away with a few games, but in terms of actual practice, probably not. Third little tip then, let your teammates know what you're planning to do. So a lot of times I see people just sort of, you know, they'll do their ult, and then they'll be like, oh my god, you guys are so bad, why didn't you follow up on my ult? Especially with someone like Zarya, who's, you know, I usually go gravitational, which means that, you know, it needs to, gravitational surge, it needs to be followed up by your team. So if they're not focused on what you're doing and what you plan to do, then how do they know to follow up? Like there, we had no idea Tyrande was going to use a Shadow Stalk. We tried to sort of backwards engage. I sort of fired my ult there to engage. The way to do that is literally alt click. You alt click your ability. That gives your teammates the knowledge that A, your ultimate is available, and B, that you intend to use it. Yeah, makes sense. But, you know, most people don't follow that. I don't see a lot of people alt-clicking their abilities, especially like when you get your ultimate. It's always nice to alt-click it just so people know what your plan is, essentially. Because, you know, some people might not check your talents. You might know what, you know, not know what ultimate someone has gotten before the first team fight. And that knowledge in that first team fight, especially when you first turn 10, can really turn the tide of battle. Another thing to do is obviously ping the map, let teammates know where you intend to be, where you intend to go, what you intend to do. So obviously when you intend to clear a lane, you know, ping the lane that you're on the way. When you intend to take a camp or would like help, ping the assist. Simple. Not a lot of people use pings in an informative way. Most people use it as a trolly or aggressive, as in ping, 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 what the hell are you doing? Ping, 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 ping. Yeah, doesn't help anyone, doesn't get the information across whatsoever. Next tip, again, fairly obvious to some, maybe not to others. The siege camps, the objectives on the map, are very, very powerful tools if they're left unchecked. So if you've got a camp pushing top that is left unchecked for 3 to 4 minutes, that'll push the lane. That'll genuinely get you a keep if you can keep that unguarded. Most people just get the camps because they have no idea what else to do. They basically go, well, you know, the minions are pushing, you know, there's, you know, we're just running around like headless chickens, what should we do? Let's take a camp. And then what happens is you take the camp camp is no longer there for 4 to 5 minutes, and it achieves nothing. They come along, they clear the camp, and that's it over. Basically, the way you use camps is you use them in line with map objectives. For example, on Battlefield of Eternity, again, not the best example because it is a very sort of center-focused map, which means anyone can clear lanes rather easily. But generally, what you will do is you will, as the objective is about to pop, you go and take a siege camp. For example, Cursed Hollow is probably the best example of that. You know, just after one of the curses has been taken, you can take a night camp, and then you can push bot. You always want to use the camps to pressure, use the map objectives to pressure, rather than, well, shit, we've got nothing else to do, basically. That goes in line with basically all the maps in current rotation. For example, the new Haunted Mines map, you can easily take a siege camp as the mines pop. And then as you're busy fighting in the mines, distracting, you're either going to get a 5v4 because one person is clearing the camp, or you're going to get the map objectives of the skulls. You know, it's win-win if you can time those camps correctly, and sometimes that is the way to win the game, is to get those camps that get a lot of value. We've all seen it, you know, the camp left unchecked might even get a keep, you know, some days. You know, that's just the way it works. Last sort of tip, and again, this is one of those ones where, yes, it's a tip, but it's something that's not going to instantly go, oh, this'll improve my game. What it is you need to focus on your core mechanics. Now, core mechanics is one of those overlooked topics that most people go, well, you know, I'm good at the game, but everyone else is bad, and, you know, how do you measure how good you are at the game? Well, are you checking your mini-map every 3 to 4 seconds? Yeah, just a quick glance. I don't mean study it, just are your eyes glancing down to the bottom right of your mini-map and looking where the enemy team are? Are your eyes looking where the minions are pushed to? Are your eyes looking for possible camps? You know, are you doing that? If not, you need to learn. You need to tick yourself. The way I achieved Masters in StarCraft, simply by mechanics only. I didn't really have, you know, build orders embedded in my mind, or, you know, super secret techniques or anything like that. It was pure mechanics. So I trained myself by, this is really annoying, but it worked, is basically every 3 to 4 seconds I would have a little tiny beep in my ear, and that beep I associated with checking my minimap. So every time that beeped, I would look at my minimap. Every time it beeped, look at the minimap. That slowly trained me to check that minimap every 3 to 4 seconds, which I started catching drops, etc. And it's no different in Heroes of the Storm. So basically, you can, every 3 to 4 seconds, you can check, you know, your map. You can see, oh, they're all bot. We should, you know, grab a camp and team fight them, and the camp goes top, and then we get loads of value out of the camp. Or, oh look, the map objective's about to ping. Oh look, those minions are really far along. Oh look, I'm gonna need to clear that wave before we can, you know, think about an objective. It becomes really good. Another thing I would suggest learning is smart casting, which is basically so you don't have to click your abilities. Now this requires a little bit of extra learning. You need to learn by eye, like how far your skill shots go, how wide your skill shots are, but it makes it really, really effective. For example, with Zarya's Q, all I need to do is hover my mouse where I want it to go and press Q. You don't need to click again, you don't need to, you know, double tap the ability or anything like that. It's really, really useful. I'd recommend using that as much as possible. If it's not good for you, some people it just doesn't sit well with, that's absolutely fine as well, but I would recommend learning that as a core mechanic. Lastly, learn the objectives, learn the timings of them. Knowing when a curse is going to pop is massively advantageous. If you can work out that, you can guide your team to, you know, map objectives, camps. You can guide your team to, you know, be in the right position when a camp comes. It's all core mechanics. and it is it's a massive part of the game and can only come with practice. So practice, practice, practice. I would recommend practicing, obviously, in quick match, as it doesn't impact any sort of anxiety or anything like that you might have about ranking up. But the best practice you're going to get is in solo league or team league, where people are playing properly. Well, majority of the time people are playing properly. So yeah, there's my, well, I'd like to say quick tips, but I think I've been talking for about 10 minutes now. So there's my tips for the game. Any more, feel free to obviously comment. I'm quite happy to say I'm still learning the game. Even when I'm GM, I'm still going to be learning the game. It's going to be learning every day. So if you do have any tips or advice for anyone, please let them know in the comments. That'd be fantastic. If you enjoyed what you liked, if you enjoyed what you saw and listened to, then please again, let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, general gist. Other than that, I hope to see you guys on the battlefield soon, and I hope these tips have helped you. Thanks very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of the game and the swift victory that follows. Cheers.